Oh boy. I am running late this morning. My regen took forever. Well, let's face it, for all the reasons that I'm late this morning, hour and a half, mostly it's because I slept in for an hour, because I didn't sleep well last night, but we'll get as far as possible on my clock today. Normally I, shut down about 6, 7, something like that. Normally I run, good morning, Colleen. Normally I try to run 9 hours a day. And that way, without explaining the whole DOT clock, let me turn you around. That way I can keep running. But the way I got started out this time, it really messed me up. So now I'm just going to run out my week. We have a clock. We have 70 hours to run in a week. And time starts coming back after that based on how many hours you ran at the beginning of the week. So, try not to confuse anybody, but the way I was ran at the beginning of the week, it messed up my clock, so I cannot keep running. So I will run out my clock every day as best I can, maybe leave an hour or so on there, but that means at the end of the week I have to sit for 34 hours to reset my DOT clock. So, long story short, normally I would only run 9 hours a day, but I'm going to be running more today and tomorrow to get this load in on time. Kind of a challenge. Hello little man. So anyway, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I am finally rolling. Disclaimer time. I am always safe and legal. Always safe and legal. Please don't jump to conclusions. I am very safe and legal. I am not distracted. I'm not touching, we are allowed to touch our phone, like to hit one button, and then we have a certain amount of time before we can touch the phone again. Oh crap. Here we go again. That door, reads that it's not closed all the way. Let's try it again, huh, little man? Let's see if I can get it. I don't know what's going on with that door and why it keeps reading as not being closed, but old Rhoda, she's a drama queen. She whines and complains and freaks out about a lot of things that she doesn't need to. Okay, here we go. So Colleen, your order is coming from Hobby, and they actually gave me a tracking number, but there's nothing to track yet. They haven't, they've developed a tracking number, but they haven't, yes, he does like it. Good morning, Michelle. The tracking number's been created, they haven't actually shipped yet. It's the last I saw when I checked it. So I'm excited for you to get that. Okay. We are rolling and eating bacon. Bacon and eggs. I had bacon and eggs out of the air fryer this morning. I sure love that air fryer. Love it. Drinking my coffee. Now today I'm only going to have one 30-ounce Yeti cup of coffee because I'm suspecting that the skinny syrup, the sugar-free coffee syrup that I use in it, I only put a capful in it. It's not very much. It's like less than a teaspoon. But I'm trying to eliminate things to figure out what is making me so sleepy. And of course, yesterday I only did 1.5 of these 30-ounce cups. And I feel like I didn't get quite as tired yesterday, so we're going with just one today, which is tough because that sweetness, you know, I start craving that sweet, and it makes me want to drink another 30-ounce cup, and that stuff's not good for us anyway, right? Oh, stupid thing. Get up there. Okay. Plus the roads here in California are terrible in most places. 50 million construction projects and nothing gets fixed, but that's California. Yeah, so that syrup, that's not good for us anyway, right? So it's best if I try to good morning, Karen, that I try to only do one, you know, cup of coffee. You know, it's 30 ounces of coffee, so that's, and a coffee cup is not 8 ounces, it's 6 ounces, so that's 5 cups of coffee. Good morning, Andrea. You guys, I think I just saw that Roaming with Rover went live, so please feel free to pop over to her live. You don't have to watch me going down the road rattling on about things that, you know, people don't like to hear. Oh, Dana, you're so judgy. Well, you know, what I see that as, you know, the way I see that is, I see the world through a biblical view. And a lot of other people see the world, good morning, see the world through the view that the media and the government are pushing. The politically correct, woke, whatever. And, okay, so she is on, yes, check her out. Jack is doing great. So, you know, I look at the world through a different lens than a lot of people. They're like, Dana, you're being so judgy. No, I'm just reciting, you know, my truth, and also, especially when I talk about, you know, prosperity preachers over on the other channel, I'm looking at the world with a biblical view, not a politically correct view. So I hope that clears things up, and I hope people can be more understanding as to why, you know, I'm not being politically correct when I look at preachers who tell us things, you know, that aren't backed up by scripture. So that's why that is. And yes, I'm gonna say what I think about, you know, these other great channels. Yes, they're great channels. I do feel like that, you know, a lot of these channels people are following, they follow these channels like groupies. And I would hope, good morning, Michelle. Good morning. I would hope that people look at, you know, those channels and take them for what they are. They're mostly pushing easy beginner patterns, super easy beginner patterns. And I see people following them like groupies. And you know, there are other channels out there, and there are other patterns that aren't even on YouTube. Go check those out, you know, and expand your knowledge. And also, I don't appreciate when, you know, designers take a stitch that's been, let's just say is it the seed stitch, and call it, you know, 4 different other names when it has been for centuries now called the seed stitch. And, good morning, Samantha. Good morning. So, yeah, so you're going to call it the garter stitch. The crinkle stitch, I've called it the crinkle stitch because I didn't realize it was originally called something else. Or the woven stitch. It's all, you know, good morning, Laura-Lee. Yes, when all those stitches were originally, there's no need to go renaming them, right? If you want to expand your, you know, crochet knowledge. And I do believe a lot of the people who do that, you know, they're teaching easy beginner stuff, and people get stuck in a rut there. Like like every time those people put out a pattern, I know people who just like run out and buy the yarn and do that pattern immediately. And when they're putting out several patterns a week, wow. It's great that they're putting out several patterns a week, but there are other designers out there, and a lot of them aren't on YouTube. Get the coffee, got to have the coffee. So yeah, where, you know, people get after me for not being politically correct, I'm sorry, I look at the world through a different view, different lens. Bacon and coffee. I'm so happy. So happy. It makes me feel better reading like this. I have never felt better. Well, I disagree when we're teaching, you know, an art like crochet. Everybody said, oh, to each his own, but when it comes to teaching, you know, crochet, there are a lot of people getting confused out there because each person is, you know, pretty much diluting the, you know, the original art. So I have to disagree. Good morning, Mimi. Good morning. I mean, if it's a seed stitch, it's a seed stitch, and people making up their own names to, you know, make theirs stand out from everybody else's. I don't see the integrity in that. Especially if you want this art to last more than one more generation. If you want it to last more than one more generation, there needs to be a little bit of standardization, and I think the Crochet Guild of America has, well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is when they change something that has traditionally been one way and then teaching it a different way as if that's the right way to do it, Mikey does it. Mikey, I love Mikey. Don't get me wrong, that guy's a great guy to learn from. But even Mikey does it. You know, he'll take a stitch and make it a little different, but call it the original thing. He's changing it. And it's confusing to brand new crocheters. And if we want to promote the art of crochet so that it lasts more than one more generation, then, you know, there needs to be a little bit of standardization. And the Yarn Council and the Crochet Guild of America have made some attempts to do that. You know, there are pros and cons, I believe, to the Crochet Guild of America. There are pros and cons to the American Crochet Association, which, you know, I love what she has done. Good morning, Sarah. You know, we're confusing the issue when these designers get on there, not technically designers, they take someone else's stitch or a stitch that's been around for decades and then call it something else. And I agree that you know, we're talking about variety. I see so many people get stuck on just one or two designers on YouTube when those are all easy beginner, you know, tutorials. There are so many great designers out there that these people are ready to move on to, but they won't, because they're almost like groupies following these, you know, specific designers. There are so many designers that aren't even on YouTube. Okay, Michelle. And I feel like people really get stuck on, you know, a certain level of patterns by a certain very large YouTuber. It's a shame because, you know, they are so ready to move forward. Oh, here we go. We're buffering. we buffer on some of these areas out here in the desert. No. I don't know why I got a notification for her channel. I thought I'd unsubscribed from her a year or so ago. Anyway, good morning, Cheryl. In Eastern California on Interstate 40, headed towards New Mexico. I'm out around the Ludlow, California area. The next state I'll get into is Arizona, but I'll shut down in New Mexico tonight and spend the night. And God willing, I'll deliver this load tomorrow afternoon in Denver. Yeah, it's going to be a long day. So, you know, I was talking this morning about buying that order from Ice Yards, and it was a little over 1 cent per yard with shipping. And people still don't get it. Yeah, but I can't afford that. You get more yardage at 1 cent per yard buying it from our Ice Yard than most of the places we order our yarns from. You get more yarn for a cheaper price. So, I even did a comparison on Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn. So, I pretended like I was going to place an order to the exact same shipping address in Arkansas this morning and using Hobby Lobby yarn. And I did not go by the skein, I went by the yardage. And so the yardage I came up with from Hobby Lobby yarn was actually more than the yardage, just barely, like by 100, not even that much. It was almost exactly the same yardage of Hobby Lobby yarn versus the Ice Yarn. So I basically went and pretended to place the same order, including sales tax and shipping. Of course, it's free shipping with that much once you hit a certain price with Hobby Lobby. Okay, so Hobby Lobby, the Hobby Lobby, you know, it's like 50, over 5,000 yards of yarn, and the Ice Yarn order was over 5,000 yards of yarn. The Ice Yarn order per yard was a little over 1 penny a yard with shipping. The total cost of that order divided by the number of yards of Savor yarn that I ordered was a little over 1 penny a yard. Then I went and did the same thing over at Hobby Lobby, but I did it two different ways. I did it with the 30% off week, and I did it without the 30% off. So with the 30% off, you're at a little over 1 cent per yard with shipping to the same shipping address, with shipping, good morning Leslie, with shipping and sales tax. Well, it's free shipping, but with sales tax, with the 30% off, you were pretty much the same price. And it's the exact same kind of yarn, almost the exact same price. A little, it might have even been a hair less, like where the, let's say the Ice Yarn was 0.012 per yard, where the Hobby Lobby was 0.011 per yard, because you've got to include, you know, your sales tax too, because that is the price you're paying per yard. So with the 30% off, you are making a comparable purchase to the ice yarn orders. Okay, so then I did it without the 30% off, and you're almost at 3 cents a yard. So now you're looking at, like, I know Red Heart Super Saver is supposed to be considered the cheap yarn. It's not. Go price out how much it costs you. Like, we have Bi-Mart stores. How much it costs you to walk into Bi-Mart, put 10 skeins of the Jumbo Super Saver in your cart, and then check out. And add up how many yards of yarn you bought, and then your price, including sales tax, and you're going to be paying more for that yarn than you are Hobby Lobby at 30% off, or Ice Yarns, including all that shipping. The price per yard is how you price that. A lot of people still can't get their head around that. It's 100 miles to the nearest large city. I'd have to figure in gas, but yeah. And now, you know, we definitely got to figure in our fuel costs, right? You know, figure out how much it costs you to drive a mile. How much it is actually costing you to drive a mile. And pad that number, because you've also got, you know, maintenance and repairs. So pad that number. Whatever number you come up with, add another $1 at least. So then you've got, you know, that's the local version of shipping, where if you're not paying shipping because you're driving to the store, figure out how much it costs you to drive per mile, you know, as far as fuel costs go, add $1 to that per mile, and that is your equivalent to shipping. So now I want to drive to Hobby Lobby to pick out my yarn, because especially like for next year in the luck of the draw, they have so many options of colors in the I Love This Yarn. You know, it's a good quality yarn. It is not premium acrylic, even though they're pricing it that way. It's not premium acrylic, but it feels good. It feels better than Super Saver, even though, yes, I know Super Saver will wash up soft. But, you know, when I'm working with a yarn, sometimes it's hard for me to stay motivated if it doesn't feel good while I'm working on it, right? Well, so for next year's luck of the draw, I'm going to do the same thing I did this year, only I'm switching up the colors. I'm going to do, instead of teals and blues and creams, I'm going to do blues and burgundies and creams, like an Americana type blanket. I'm going to use the same stitch, and I'll be very close to the same size of blanket, but I want to have, it's just, you know, when I'm picking those colors the way I did it last time, I'll put my base color up there on the front part of the cart, the top of the cart there, and then I'll start bringing in, you know, at least 3 variegated, maybe 4, that will go with that base color. Bring in, you know, the other 2 base colors. Well, they're not base colors, but, you know, like a base color of the cranberry. Hello, Stephanie. And then some, you know, like some blue and like an off-white or a cream. And then, hello, Wanda. So one of those will probably be my base color. And then I'll start looking at the variegateds, the sparkles, all the different other varieties. Do you do a different? No, not for the luck of the draw, or for the crochet along that I'm putting up in the fall. Luck of the draw I'm doing in the thermal stitch, where the crochet along in the fall is going to be done in the hag stitch. So yeah, so I get it. You know, when I want my yarn, I want, you know, for, you know, something where I really want to color coordinate 8 different colors, like we do with Nan's Next Knots. You know, I want to walk in, I want to drive over the hill 30 miles over to the Hobby Lobby in over in Napa, and I want to put those colors in my cart. I put my 3 solids, and then I'll start messing around with variegateds and, you know, the other different kinds of the sparkles and the other different kinds of, you know, varieties of Hobby Lobby yarns, because I want some variegateds, I want some sparkles. I'll probably just do 3 solids this time, but I want it all to be like, I think they have an Americana in the sparkle. It's like a sparkle variegated, I believe so, something along those lines. And then I'm gonna, you know, make it like an Americana blanket, because let's face it, it's gonna be done before the 4th of July, and well, as long as I keep up on the luck of the draw, then, you know, that's a great gift to give to somebody. So yeah, I get, you know, there are reasons why I would drive over the hill 20, 30 miles in my motorhome, which we're talking dollars per mile to drive that thing. Let me tell you, dollars per mile. Ooh, that sounds like a fun trip though, right? Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, it's a good deal. And you know, when people don't have the money to make a yarn order, I get it. I get that. What I don't get is people saying, yeah, but the shipping is so high. No. There are ways you do this, you know, to make it to make it as close to 1 cent per yard as you can. And I have seen it go down below 1 cent per yard, depending on what you're buying. No, you know, I get it when you know, you've got a budget and, you know, only so much is, you know, you're allowing for yarn, but are you going to get the best bang for your buck, right? If you've got $40 to, I know, well, we're talking 20 to 30 miles in the yarn bus. Of course, round trip, it's double that. And I get, oh, who knows what kind of mileage I get. I'm going to try to figure it out. But it'll take me a while because I don't drive it very much. Yeah. No, it's not just you. You know, without coupons or sales, you know, how much is that yarn per yard? Because you can get a 98-cent skein, but, you know, is it what, less than 100 yards in that skein? Good morning. You know, how much yarn are you getting, and is it, you know, the quality of yarn you want? Now, everybody has, you know, like I said, you know, like for luck of the draw, next year, I want to go to Hobby Lobby and I want to pick it out physically, visibly, emotionally. I want to feel it. Yeah, Lorley, I may have to put fuel in the bus before I go and then after I get back. So, yeah. That might be a thing. And I need to save up my pennies. I'm trying to save up enough to get tires on that thing. It's going to cost about $3,000 to get tires on it. Because I tell you what, I am not driving to the Dalles, Oregon for the Pacific Northwest Yarny Social without new tires all the way around that bus. So that's that. I've got to have new tires. Now I got the generator working. That was amazing. That guy was awesome, and he's going to do tune-up, you know, plugs, rotor, you know, wires, all that kind of stuff. Here in the next month or so, I'll call him and say, hey, you know, I'm ready for you to do that. So yeah, I'm trying to save up my pennies right now so that I can not only pay for the fuel, the gas to go to the Yarny Social, to pay for the rooms that I need to pay for, because believe me, the $48 per person is not going to even cover the ballroom that we're going to be in. So most of this is going to come out of pocket. So I've got to finish paying, paying for the ballroom. And I have a couple of people's hotel rooms to pay for besides mine, plus fuel, plus tires, plus the tune-up on the yard bus, plus all the gifts. So, yeah. So if anybody thinks I'm making a profit off of that, I got news for you. I am not. But it is going to be a fun get together. I promise you that. Good morning, Sarah. Yeah, so the yarn bus will be. Oh, you know where else I think I'll drive the yarn bus to? To our crochet get together in Emmett. We'll see. I might use the PT if it's available and I feel like I'm not going to screw that thing up. Good morning, Joyce. So, just so you guys know, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you pop over and check out Roaming with Rover. Like, good morning, good morning. Like the minute I went live, I saw this notification that Robin went live too. So if you want to hop over to Roaming with Rover, please do. Please do. Because that's our girl, Robin. Somebody mentioned me in a comment. So, what's coming up, people? We got our countdown going right now. Today is what, the 6th? So, 9 days until the fairy videos start going up. And for those of you who haven't checked on how to be a fairy or how to be a participant, the link is in the description box of this live. How to participate in the fairy event this year. Please, because if people don't follow, the way we're doing it this year, then they're just not going to get into the playlist and they won't be part of, the final drawing. So, to kind of recap that, both videos need to be less than 3 minutes long. No requiring anything of viewers or, participants, like, to be subscribed. Well, I have no idea. It's all about greed. And it's all a political move. So they want us to panic, right? So our best defense is not to panic. And to not be alarmist, to not feed into the alarming, propaganda, less than factual information we're getting on, TV and all of that. Just, I am so happy not watching any of the news, not paying any attention to prices. Yes, I have to pay high prices to fuel my own vehicle. I pay for prices to, buy the food I need, but I am not going to get locked in on all of this crap. 9 days to Christmas. I love that. Yeah. So anyway, so to recap, here are the rules for fairies. Less than 3 minutes for each video. Use the hashtag only for those 2 videos. They need to email me a link to the video, the fairy video, and then they need to email me a link to their second video, whatever. what I will do then is I will watch the video, make sure it is less than 3 minutes long, make sure nobody is requiring anybody to be a subscriber or to go watch another video or to do anything other than comment. Good morning, Susan. Oh yes. So no requirements other than, like, I'm going to ask an open-ended question. That way their comment is unique and it's not copied and pasted. If it doesn't, here's what I'm going to do. If it doesn't answer, the question, if it just says, thank you for participating, and it doesn't get flagged by YouTube, that person didn't answer the question. So yeah, that requirement's going to be on, because they cannot be copying and pasting their comments under all these videos. And I will ask the question in the very beginning of the video so they can just answer it and move on if they want to. If they want to read the rules will be in the description box. That's how I'm gonna, run that. But I will watch every one of the videos to make sure people are complying, because apparently I have heard that there are people who would like to just try to sneak a video in that's more than 3 minutes long, that requires people to be subscribed, that does all this. And then when they upload the drawing video, if you don't have if you don't have a community tab, then let's use some common sense. Hi, Angela. And yes, of course you can put the winner's name under your community tab. If you have a community tab, yes, put it there. Put it in the thumbnail. Put the winner's name in the description box. Pin it to the top of the comments. Do everything to make that winner's name public. And if people don't do that, if a fairy doesn't do that, unfortunately, I'm not going to include them in the final drawing. So, we are making it easier for everybody, and to tolerate one or two people, not following how we're doing it this year, really will frustrate and discourage those who did take a leap of faith and just follow the instructions as they were given. So I don't want to, because that's like an employee. Okay, you got a manager, you got two employees. One of them gets away with a bunch of crap, and the other one does a good job. They do what they're supposed to do, and they go the extra mile. But because they see that manager tolerating the poor performance of the other employee, then the good employee gets frustrated and gets discouraged. So, not that I think fairies are employees, but those who want to participate as a fairy, I'm not going to discourage those who are doing it right. If you don't do it right, it's not going to count. It's not going to be in the final drawing. So I'm not going to discourage those fairies who are with me, who are doing it the way, the instructions laid out, by tolerating those who didn't. So, hello. Right. If you don't do it right, it doesn't count. So, and I think it's going to be so much easier this way. I don't expect more than, Charlie thinks there's going to be more. Okay, so maybe I'll say 10 to 15 fairies. If we're lucky, there'll be 20. But you know what? The fewer, the better. I mean, I would be tickled if there were more, but the fewer, it's easier for me to, hurt fairies, right? But, and I would love, good morning. I would love to see more fairies, actually agree to do this in this manner. But if less do, then that tells me I'm doing something right too. It's kind of like raising your prices of your crocheted items, right? You raise those prices until you lose a couple of customers. And as soon as you do, you keep it at that price. Because if they want to go to the next table over where Christy, the crochet factory with her big fat sloppy stitches and ugly hats, is selling them for $5 a piece, and you have a well-made, item that took you hours and hours, that's like, say hers are hats, but yours are very specialized hats, done with care and done with good skill, and you put hours into this and you charge 3 times as much, 4 times as much as she does. If they go to that table, let them go. Just let them go. Because you can't let, the crochet factory with their big fat sloppy stitches dictate your prices, because you put out quality work. And I use that example because it happened a lot in our hometown. Okay, yes, please. Those who are here, please know that Robin is live, and I think I saw that she has a guest with her today. So please, yes, you're not going to hurt my feelings by going and checking out Robin and seeing who her guest is. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we need to be proud of our work and charge what, our time is worth. Our time and our cost. And not let, Susie Crochet Factory with her big fat sloppy stitches dictate what we price our good quality products at. Yes, self-worth. Yes, figure out, what are you charging per hour? Because if I just did hourly work, back in the day, I would, oh yeah, Trish the Pro, okay, so Trish is there, that's awesome. Yeah, so please, go pay her some time, you're not going to hurt my feelings. This isn't about watch hours. This is just about having all of you to talk to while I'm going down the road. Yeah, I know someone who's considered, on YouTube this super wicked fast crocheter, but I've seen her work and I'm not impressed. I don't care how fast you are. I'm not impressed with your work. Sorry if I'm not politically correct, people, but I'm not going to pretend that, that's someone, that I really want to associate with when it comes to the quality of our work. I would rather take my time and make a quality piece than, show everybody how lightning fast I am. And I do okay, I believe it's, it's more than just a good rhythmic speed. I believe it's a cadence. I love the word cadence, especially in horse training. So yeah, I was going to compare it to horse training. When I started, I, basically, I had a 30-day price, of having your horse with me, and I discounted that if you did another 15 and another 15, but I also had an hourly rate. And way back then in 2008, it was $25 an hour. And I was, oh, wonderful. $25 an hour back then, in that area was, that was a good price. Well, today I would charge way more than that. Not only am I more experienced, but, the market has come up. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And I don't care if the kid next door is charging $10 for their, because they trained a horse once. I don't care. I don't care what that kid is charging. If you want to take your horse to that kid, you go for it. But it's going to cost you more when you have to bring that horse to me to be fixed. So, yeah. How fun is Dana this morning? Dana's on some fun. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Ooh, what is that? What is that? Absolutely. I'm so politically incorrect. I will call it like I see it. Thanks, Angela. Oh, we're out in the desert. We'll probably have a little bit of a buffer zone up here. See how the road is going to go through, through this cut in the hills here. We're probably going to buffer for a second. Please take advantage and, go check out Roaming with Rover. She is live this morning also. So I don't want to take away from her. This is just, it's easiest for me to do this, start it first thing in the morning. Then I just hit one. I do a very legal one tap on the screen to end the live. So, because we're always legal and safe here, please don't make assumptions that I'm distracted by chat or anything like that. I don't know what that is. It's very suspicious looking, so I am slowing down. No, I think that's a civilian. Okay, but still, I'm going to slow down for a minute. Oh, but then we got to get through this little buffer zone. Hello, Kim. Well, be sure and, pop into Roaming with Rovers live also. She's got the Purple Yarnivore on there this morning, and she's live at the same time. So please, let's give her some time too, because Robin is pretty awesome. She's been doing some great, unboxings, because she had all this yarn, and why not, right? I don't watch a lot of unboxings because I'm pretty particular about when and why I buy yarn. So, but here's something I gotta admit. I do go looking for unboxings by the name of the yarn on YouTube. So if I go to buy something I've never bought before. Good morning, Trudy. So that is a great thing. A lot of people say, oh, I don't watch unboxings. Well, I don't either, usually in the moment. But I like Robin, so a lot of times, I don't get to see all of her videos, but if I see something come up in my feed, I'll put it in my watch later list. I was just watching one recently that I think she got a Knit Crate subscription or something. And good morning. And, so I do enjoy, watching them for a few minutes. I check them out. And good morning. Okay, be sure you guys to check out Roaming with Rover this morning. She is live. So yeah, if I go to buy a yarn I've never bought before, or if I'm curious about it, I will actually do a search for the name of that yarn on YouTube, and see what, watch the unboxings, watch the yarn reviews. So for those of you uploading videos about yarns, be sure to put the name of the yarns, a searchable name in the description box, so that, someone like me can say, okay, I want to check out this particular kind of ice yarn. What is this particular kind of, because there are 50 million different kinds of ice yarn. And if I want to place an order, and it's something I'm going to use myself, or even if I'm going to, like Saver Yarn. Okay, I've used Saver Yarn. That's why I ordered that for Regina Reed, the winner over at Connie's Just Because giveaway this morning. Because I tell you what, I got that for a little over 1 cent per yard, and I got well over 5,000 yards of yarn. Yeah, so I if I want to try out another color for maybe another project, because I order yarn for a project. I don't hold a stash. So I'm going to do a search on YouTube. Let's say I want to buy the Lorena version of the Lorena yarn. So I'm going to search for Lorena on YouTube and, watch an unboxing, watch a yarn review. We have some here. There's something positive I can say about Bag a Day and Creative Grandma, who I love, by the way. Yeah. I had too much yarn too, Angela, and I have fixed that to be only project specific, and I really enjoy that. And anyway, you know, I do love, you know, if I want to learn, you know, if there's a stitch I haven't done, I'm going to search it on YouTube, and hopefully it's going to come up. Here's another reason not to call, you know, the same stitch a crinkle stitch like I did, a woven stitch, a garter stitch. You know, don't call that original stitch name, which I believe was the seed stitch. Somebody correct me. Don't call it one of these other names that you just made up and didn't do any research on. Because if I want to learn, you know, that stitch, that's going to be confusing for me when I go searching for the name of the stitch. That's another reason I don't like, you know, those great people, but they rename these stitches and do a stitch of the week, or you know, do a stitch tutorial, and they've used not the original name of the stitch. So there we are, lost, you know, down a rabbit hole trying to find that stitch. So if we want to promote, you know, the art of crochet for the next generations to come, there's another reason for standardizing the names of these stitches. So, and don't go changing it. You know, there's an extended double crochet, there's an extended single crochet. Don't call it something else and do your own little stitch tutorial on it, because that confuses those of us. I get it. I totally get it, Michelle. I bought paint box yarn the first time because I was hearing all these wonderful things. So I bought a color pack of Simply Aran and a color pack of Simply Cotton. And I started doing mosaic granny squares, so many out of each skein. I was doing, you know, a cotton blanket, and I was doing an acrylic blanket. And that was a great way to learn about that yarn. I mean, that was a yarn I really wanted to try. So I totally get that. Try the yarn, put it in a project. Yes, if you're a beginner crocheter and you're trying to, you know, well, what is that stitch? It is confusing. And as a beginner crocheter, I'm like, well, I learned right away that while, you know, Mikey calls, you know, does this stitch, this particular name stitch this way, and Mikey's easy to follow, and that's wonderful. But then I see several other videos showing this stitch a different way. So as a beginner, I'm like, which way is right? So either they change the stitch and use the same name, or they change the name and use the same stitch. And it was confusing for a long, long time. Very confusing. And sometimes, now here's where there's some grace in that, like, we'll go to, you know, show how to do a stitch in a tutorial, you know, for a project, and we accidentally call it the wrong thing. I am totally guilty of that. I am totally guilty of that. And I don't have the room on my phone to do the editing to put the word across now that corrects that. So, yeah, that is a totally different thing. If it's an accident, it's an accident. You can write in the description box, hey, at such and such a time in the video, I called this one kind of stitch, but that's not what it is. You know, please forgive me, that's the wrong name for that stitch. You know, that kind of thing I get. But it can be confusing when it's being done on purpose. I love bacon and eggs. Love me some bacon and eggs. So again, you guys, if you find my droning on, you know, boring, or you've given me enough of your time, please Please give some of your time, your viewing time over to Robin's Live, Roving with Rover, and she has the Purple Yarnivore on with her, if she's still on. I'm thinking she's probably still on. I haven't, of course I don't know. I can't tell, because I'm driving my dog away. Driving my dog away. He started to eat his breakfast this morning. I think he's not a fan of chicken, so I switched him to beef, and he did start to beef and pork, and he did start to chew on it. And then the procedure is, if he doesn't continue, then I grab it, I put tin foil on it, and I put it in the fridge, and I go on with my life. Yeah, the Afghan stitch. So yeah, there's a good point. The simple stitch, is that what you're referring to? Yeah, if that's what you're referring to, he's doing really good. He's actually doing really, yeah. So yeah, the simple stitch, which is, the one I've done. Well, I've tried out the others, just playing around with dishcloths and stuff, but yeah. And they called that hook a crow hook or an Afghan hook, all the different names for the hooks, and that was called the Afghan stitch. I agree. There's another thing where I learned it as a simple stitch, because it was like 3 years ago. I was sitting at a shipper waiting to get loaded, and I had some cotton yarn, and I had some, regular boy hooks, that are just straight metal, so I used that to make a dishcloth. And that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. And one of these years is going to be the year of the Tunisian for me. This year is the year of the Scorched Earth, just getting stuff done. Next year is going to be the year of the mosaic blanket for me that I'm doing for my mom, while getting, more caught up on Scorched Earth. But Scorched Earth for me is going to be an ongoing list, obviously. But there are like so many in that list I want to get done this year. Next year I was thinking about it, being the year of education. I'm just north of Milwaukee, so nowhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Wanda. I know. As truck drivers, we're like, oh, can I go do this? And it's all a matter of timing too, on how we're running our clock. So just so you know, Miss Super Trucker, I am planning on running, till about, running out most of my clock today, because I'm going to have to do a reset because of the way they ran me around the first couple days. I wasn't able to do my 9 hours a day for good, recaps. So I'm going to have to do a reset when I get to Denver. Oh, you guys want to hear what the Qualcomm sounds like? This is the Qualcomm. I got a message on the Qualcomm. Let's see what it is. Turn up the volume. Flower in a box pattern. See, I knew that wasn't like, thank you, Sandra, because I always wondered that, that obviously, I didn't get the impression that pattern was made specifically for the show. I believe that somebody knew that pattern and made a lot of those blankets for the show. And then it just kind of got nicknamed the Call the Midwife blanket. Which, there are dragonflies, flowers, paw prints, dog prints versus cat prints. There are all kinds of ways to do that kind of pattern, different variations of it. But thank you. Flower, what'd you say? Say it again. Flower in a box? Because I can't scroll back. Qualcomm message. We're going to play it. Listen to this.
Message 1 of 17. Received today at 8:54 a.m. Good morning. Please be advised that there will be high wind gusts throughout the mountains of Ventura County and Los Angeles between now and 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Travel with care and caution and use alternate routes as needed. Thank you for what you do and be safe out there. Jake Dorella, Safety Coordinator.
Thank you, Mr. Safety Coordinator, whoever you are. Believe me, I felt those winds last night. I mean, at one point, I had to jump up and check the trailer. Yeah, see, Wanda just runs her 70 out, I think typically, correct me if I'm wrong, Wanda, which is a very simple way of doing it. You know, you just run your clock as, you know, long as you can stand each day and then do a reset. And I've considered doing it because that's downtime where I can crochet and, you know, spend time with the dog and get restocked. And I don't know, I've considered, you know, making that my mode of operation, but I really, you know, when done right, when I have a, you know, a DM who understands how this works, I make a lot of money running on recaps, running 9 hours a day. If I'm able to do it, if I'm able to run 9 hours a day, so I'm kind of making a decision here by talking it out loud. If I'm able to start out running 9 hours a day and it goes fairly well, then I will just plan on doing my recaps. But if the first day or two are completely messed up, I'm just gonna, maybe I'll just at that point decide that I'm gonna run my clock. And of course I have to watch it and watch the, I got into Mosaic in January. Yarny fiber scissors there, great, very helpful. Courtney at Fiber Fox. Yes, Courtney at Fiber Fox. I love Courtney at Fiber Fox. I also love Tina, T-I-N-N-A. I cannot pronounce her last name, but if you want to find her, search in YouTube, T-I-N-N-A, Mosaic Crochet. I'm sure somebody here knows. Maybe one of my mods will link her YouTube channel. She's also on Ravelry. I'm not a big fan of Ravelry or Etsy. I try not to give Ravelry or Etsy any money. If I find something on Ravelry, here's what I do. I try to find out if they're also selling that pattern on their website, or if they're offering it for free with ads somewhere. I just, you know, I don't mind giving these designers what they're, you know, what they're asking, because they designed this project and I don't have to do that, right? All I have to do is follow the pattern. Well, I don't want to give Ravelry or Etsy any of my money. Thank you, Michelle. I knew Michelle had it. Tina Thorvaldor. Both of you, thank you. Tina is awesome, and it's her Montana blanket. I plan on doing her Montana next year for my mom. I have hers. Okay, yes. And then the way you run gives you more time for downtime. Yeah. Yeah, I like being able to, you know, just run 9 hours a day, shut down, you know, and that works great when I'm not running up and down. You know, if I'm doing long trips up and down I-5, that works. But if I'm doing, you know, like the merry-go-round I was on in Idaho the other day, and then I got a short load going into, you know, the Seattle area where I've got to do this and I've got to run here and do that, and I run out of time, you know, those were 2 days that screwed up my 70-hour clock for the week. So, you know, I'm going to stop in, oh, Connie's live, you guys, just so you know. Just Another Stitch just went live. So her and Roaming with Rover, please, you know, if Robin is still live, please go, you know, give her some time. and check out Connie. She just went live. But anyway, I'm going to have time to crochet. I'm going to have time to restock my fridge. Aggravating. Yeah, they run it extremely close. Sometimes brokers are even more. Yeah, see? And I feel like it's up to me. You know, I could throw a fit and scream on that first day in Idaho where they had me do some local stuff. They just had me go shuttle a couple of trailers. Well, what did that do? That started my first day out with 2 hours on duty. So on Thursday of this week, I'm getting 2 hours back. Right? So, oh good, thank you, Tank. There's Robbins. And also Connie just went live. So you guys do not hurt my feelings if you'd rather go, you know, listen to them and be a part of their lives, or, you know, bounce around between the three. I think that's awesome. And then the next day I went way too many hours. I ran out my clock. So I got two things going on there. You know, the problem is my first day of recaps, I'm getting a little over 2 hours back, and that's not going to work the way I'm behind on running my hours. But I think I'm going to stop complaining about, you know, my 70 hours and my recaps and accept a 34-hour reset and see how it goes. There we go. There's Tina. Yes, she has Facebook. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Melissa. Thank you. Oh, and I want you guys to know this sweetheart is right here in chat, or she may have popped over to somebody else's live, but Michelle Crochets in Kansas could use some encouragement, right? Michelle Crochets in Kansas. She has changed her name, her YouTube name, and has started to upload videos, and she's uploading wonderful videos. You can tell she's a real person. Connie in 20 minutes. Oh, thank you, Susan. I didn't realize it was in 20 minutes. I don't like premieres. I don't like that. I like things kept simple. Some people really enjoy that. Some people are part of their creativity is the way they present their YouTube channel, the way they edit their videos, and I appreciate that as from a creative standpoint, because mine, that doesn't happen. I used to do some creative things kind of in the past, but I haven't been able to do that due to technological issues in the last couple of years. I used to put a little clip of something at the end, you know, hummingbirds or the black bunnies that like have taken over this little town in Montana, or Dooley doing something, you know. Premieres, to me, I get confused on premieres, and I can see the point, you know, if you're just doing it out of a creativity, but I personally get a little confused by them. So yeah, I thought she just went live, but apparently that was, you know, premieres in whatever 30 minutes, 20 minutes. So I never do it because I'm just the paid monkey behind the steering wheel. Don't confuse the monkey. It's easy to do. Connie is very creative with her videos and her channel, and I can appreciate the time that she puts into it. Oh, Cindy tangled in yarn. Oh, see, wonderful. Wonderful. Drive 11 hours or work 14 hours. Yeah, see? And I am all about a life balance. You know, you obviously have more stamina than I do. Obviously. You've been at this way longer than I have. You're better at it. You're better at it than I am. Oh, that's Saturday. So, see, that's confusing, isn't it, Susan? I get confused. But those of you who are better, you know, at figuring out these lives and premieres, you know, more power to you. I get confused. And I do appreciate the time that these gals like Connie and Rob, you know, the time that they put into doing these creative aspects with their channel. I mean, that's a creative outlet too, besides just crochet, right? Some people really enjoy, they love the creativity of it, editing videos and, you know, putting in intros and, yeah, not me. I'm kind of a give me a bullet points kind of person. I want the bullet points. But yet again, when I try to create bullet points, I can't do it. I can't make something just that cut and dry, like the rules for being a fairy this year. I'm gonna try. Oh, okay. Linda's little daydream. I don't know that I don't know her, so maybe it would be good if I go watch that to get to know her. But yeah, I'm shouting out Michelle Crochets in Kansas. She just started uploading video. This is Michelle Weevil. She has been a supporter of all of our channels for you know, quite a long time. She's been such a delight as a viewer, and now she is an uploader, a content creator. Yes, it does, from minute to minute. Yes. Okay, I guess that's far enough out to come over. Come on, dude. Some of these people, they don't even look. They just come over within 10 or 20 feet of the front of my truck, and I have a specific sight view. I need to see in my right mirror. I need to see both headlights of that truck or that vehicle with my shoulder blades pressed against the seat. And I can tip my head forward a little bit, but those shoulder blades got to be pressed up against the seat. And I need to see both headlights in that side mirror before I start to come over. I'll turn on my turn signal before that, so that the cars, you know, that are stacking up behind me that want to do 100 miles an hour, you know, they know that I am planning on coming over, but I'm going to take my time. I'm going to watch for that sight view and take my time coming over. I'm not just going to whip over into another lane. And I take my time coming over. Part of it is being a little ornery. What are you doing there, dude? Did you get a wind gust? Boy, we had wind last night. Cool. But, you know, I do get a little ornery, and I slow down me coming back over, because then they, like, go over and they cross the yellow line, you know, into the median, and they floor it. It's like, you know, that's on you, dude. I don't think anybody is taught to drive defensively anymore. That was kind of the slogan when I was growing up. You drive defensively, you be patient. We were taught to wait in line as children in elementary school, to wait our turn. And so many people out here, I think, wow, we did not grow up in the same kind of environment. Yeah, let me tell you, I make mistakes in mine. It's tough. It is tough. It is tough to do it all one shot, let me tell you. But if you can splice those video pieces together, more power to you. I have run out of the technology I need to splice together my Crochet Skills development course. Assignment number 3. I have all the pieces. I just need to it's me first. I must be first, no matter what the cost. I need to get there 5 seconds earlier, no matter what the cost. And I've done that as a commercial truck driver. You know, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. You know, whatever my truck was governed at, I had to be at that speed the whole time I was on the freeway, every single second, because I'm not wasting a second of my clock. But then I realized that I started looking around and seeing all these, good morning, Susan. I saw these other, you know, drivers doing the same thing, and they were dangerous. And I'm like, you know, that is a dangerous mentality. So I'm in California, and depending on my mood, depending on the day, I will set the cruise at either 60 or 65. Out here I'm at 65. When I was coming down I-5, I was at 60. And I know guys who are governed at 64, and they run California at 64 miles an hour all day long, and they never get a ticket. I've also heard of guys getting a ticket at 58 miles an hour in Northern California. So I think it depends on the day and the mood of the, you know, the CHP. Good morning, Diana. So, you know, anything can change. Out here I tend to do 65. Maybe it's not a good idea, but I'm 60 back there, so, you know, I have to watch that. You know, then I still have room. Like if I'm creeping up on this reefer like I am right now, 364 feet in front of me. Okay, now I'm watching that. If I'm creeping up on him, and if I was only governed at 65 miles an hour, I'd be having a fit because because the forward-facing radar, if I'm catching up to him just inches at a time, it's going to bump me down to 64 and then 63, and it's going to hold me there. And you know, if I'm trying to run 65 every single second of the day, I'm going to have a fit, and that's not safe. Well, doing 60 or 65 in California, if I come up on somebody that I'm just inching up on, I'm not governed until 70 miles an hour. So I can relax, I can take my time, and I just go on around him. Now, when I'm in other states, I set the cruise at 70. The first part of the Columbia River Gorge there by Portland, the west end, you know, I set the cruise at 65 because our speed limit is at 60. And then once I get to the other side of the Dalles, bump that up to 70 because our speed limit's at 65. And I'm not saying 5 miles an hour over the speed limit is ethically or morally okay, because sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's not safe. It just depends on each situation. You know, you got to learn how to read traffic. Oh, now that is a bouncy bridge. Okay, that's worse than the one in Sacramento. You know, it all depends on your situation there. You know, there's still to this day, there's times I'm like, oh, I've got to stay 70 going through Salt Lake. And then I'm like, no, I really don't. I can slow my speed down to go with traffic, which traffic in Salt Lake is ridiculous. But those people are so entitled on their merging. They're as bad as Southern California when it comes to merging, and I get really irritated with them. But, you know, you adjust for the area you're in, for how much traffic there is. But, yeah, but just these guys, that's why I think governing is, can be a dangerous thing, because people will go right up to their top governed speed, and they won't back down off of that governed speed unless they absolutely have to. So they're whipping in and out of traffic. They are, you know, constantly creating, you know, unsafe situations. They're waving their arms going, people, I got places to go, get out of the way, you know. And I'm telling you, I did it, especially when I was governed at 61 miles an hour with May Trucking Company. Oh, I would get so mad. But I tell you what, being governed at 70 has taught me, you know, I don't have to run right at my governed speed all the time. And trying to milk every last second of my day at, you know, my top governed speed is not always feasible. Sometimes I'll let off, and, you know, I just kind of use the pedal through some areas. Even in Wyoming, there are a lot of areas where I just got to be on the pedal rather than at my top, you know, cruise control governed speed of 70. Just depends. It was Rhoda. Yeah. Yeah. My Rhoda, she makes a lot of noises. Well, good. I still got a half a big 30-ounce cup of coffee left. that makes me happy. Let me turn down the Qualcomm. Go back to the hours of service page because I like to see that I have been rolling for 20 minutes because I've got 6 hours and 40 minutes left on my 8-hour clock. Within the first 8 hours of going on duty and taking off, we have to take a 30-minute break. So that's our 8-hour clock. I like to get it down below 4 hours at least, sometimes down below 3, before I take a 30-minute break. Of course, I'll stop probably sometime before then if Jack gives me the indicator that he would like to go for a walk. We'll do that. He hasn't been going that much. Being kind of worrisome. The AC feels good. It's 86 degrees out. It was in the 90s when we got stopped last night at that rest area about 30 miles east of Barstow. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to a 34-hour reset. I mean, I used to let it really irritate me that they weren't running me the way I have told them I need to run. The problem is, you know, my DM, who's getting used to it, who's figuring it out, who's doing a great job, she, you know, has been gone for this last week. I don't know if she's back today or not. I hope so. And everybody else, you know, they're good DMs and all that, but they forget. I don't run, you know, I don't drive 11 hours a day. I drive 8.5 to 9. And that gives me time for on duty to do my pre-trip and post-trip or whatever messing around I do on duty. That gives me 9 hours of on duty. She's watching dog TV. Yeah, they don't realize I'm you know, a 9 hour a day driver so that I don't have to take resets. And the people that I'm dealing with when, you know, my regular DM isn't there, they don't get that. I can plug you guys in. You're down to 15%. I know what you guys going down on me. Yeah, so they don't run me right. They don't understand screwing up my 70-hour clock. They're like, well, you're going to be home this weekend, right? No, I'm out for 3.5 to 4 weeks at a time. No, we're not doing that. Hey, it's hard to retrain these people when my DM is not in, you know. Don't run me expecting me to go 11 hours a day. I'm not going to do it. We'll see if this month, you know, I just kind of, you know, let that happen if it happens and see if I actually get more miles. I did not get very many miles last month and I was not happy about it. So the problem is even my DM, I don't think she knows how to run somebody who runs 9 hours a day. 9 hours. And not more, because that'll mess up, you know, then I'm going to have to do a reset. I wish I was crocheting instead of driving right now, though. I am better at everything that I do in the morning. Bible study, driving, crocheting, videos, you know, interacting with the dog. Everything I do is done better for me in the morning before 10 a.m. After that, it's like I'm trudging along. So I wish I could crochet in the morning. I just want to sit up, do, you know, grab my coffee because it's right there. You know, I just sit up in bed and I can do my coffee because it's within reach. Read my chapter, do a video if I need to, and then, you know, walk the dog, and then get back in with my breakfast and start crocheting. That's what I want to do every morning. Someday when I'm when I'm retired, maybe. I don't know if I'll live long enough to be able to afford retirement, but we'll see. I have an idea about that. I do want to buy a piece of property maybe this winter I'm hoping that prices kind of stabilize or start going down this winter, and hopefully I'll have some money saved up for that, to where I can put a down payment on a piece of property and put a like a 50 amp service out there and an RV pad and a driveway, circle driveway. Oh yeah, see, I'm a morning person. I'm tired at night because I've driven all day, or whatever I've done all day. I'm exhausted, and I'm telling you, doing that hack stitch blanket is just, I mean, it's simple enough, but learning to identify those stitches, especially in that dark royal blue color, I make mistakes, and I will put my hack stitch in the wrong stitch. So yeah, I only did about 10 stitches last night, and I was tired. I was done. I tried to force myself to do a whole row, and I couldn't do it. I'm working on the base color for week 4. Of my hack stitch crochet along. Color is hard. Next year I'm going to do something different with my Christmas colors. I might even try, just ordering in some Saber yarn, the ice yarn, or maybe a DK, a cotton acrylic blend of the ice yarns. Maybe I'll do that to do next year's cal. In Christmas, type colors, of course. Do any of you order from Lovecrafts very often? And if you do, what is the deal with Simply Erin color packs of the paint box? What is the deal? I see color packs that are acrylic and wool and different blends, but the color packs available, like the 10 ball or 10 skein color packs, well, yeah, but we need 7 different colors for my crochet along. So, yeah, you need 7 different colors. Like in Nancy's crochet along, you need 9 different colors. So anyway, what is the deal with the paint box Simply Erin color packs? The big color packs. Because I have tried to order color packs for some, these giveaway winners, and it's like, hello, Vicki, we're doing good. I'm wondering if any of you have gone on, wow, really? Unsafe, Arizona. Learn to drive. Yeah, made me hit the brakes. And there's no reason for that with this much room out here on the freeway. So, anyway, I go to order those, big color packs of Simply Erin in the paint box yarns, and there aren't any. Yeah, I do better in the morning. The older I get, the better I do. You've never ordered from them? Oh, it's a good deal, and it's great yarn, but lately, seems like for the last 6 or 8 months, every time I went to order a color pack, I couldn't. I ordered from, I believe, Hobby for Grammy Colleen Crochets, and I did just do, specific yarns for the one who, I did order paint box for the one who won my semifinalist drawing. But yeah, this morning I went to order the grand prize winner of Connie's Just Because giveaway, I went to, check again for a color pack, and it wasn't there. I'm like, they just don't have those 100% acrylic, Simply Aran color packs anymore. They're like, oh, there's a five color color pack, the Bella Coco pack, but only one of all the varieties is available, and it's a yellow. And yellow's a pretty specific color. If you've got someone who really likes yellow, great. But I didn't have like a color preference for this gal for Regina Reed, so I just okay. I'm gonna go around you. I just went to the ice yarns and ordered the ice yarns color packs. I mean, good color packs. I was going to send her the Christmas color pack, which I've sent to people before. I really like those. Hello, Denny. Good morning, Denny, sweetie. I am out on the desert in Eastern California on Interstate 40. Okay, so just another Monday with Connie just went live, so please, you will not hurt my feelings if you run over there and watch Connie. Okay, so her favorite color is purple. Well, I didn't have that information this morning. So, yep, my politically incorrect trip. Yeah, so, and I didn't know if yellow was, so I just wanted to order her a color pack, but a yellow color pack of 5 skeins of yarn? No, not without knowing more. Good morning, Patty. Yes, Connie is just coming on. Yes, I'm politically incorrect because I get criticized for my view of things, especially if I'm talking about scripture. But the difference is I don't view the world in a socially or politically correct manner. I try to view the world through scripture, through a biblical worldview, and so I get criticized. Basically, what it comes down to is not being politically correct. Well, I'm sorry, but I look at the world differently. Yeah, well, I ended up ordering her 4 packs of Savor yarn from Ice Yarns. So, and I did them in Christmas colors, just cause we know why, right? Because I love Christmas afghans. And that way it gives her a lot of yarn to play with and, maybe do some different things. Yeah, God pleasers, not people pleasers. Exactly. So that's why I put that on there. Not to be, not to annoy people, but I do view the world, try to view the world through a biblical view rather than what we're told is politically or socially or whatever correct. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I do tend to call it like I see it. Yeah, we don't conform, that's for sure, Susan. And I don't even take, a preacher or a pastor or, whatever you call your preachers. I don't take their word for it because, as we're told in the Bible, we are supposed to take what they say and compare it, right? Hold the scripture against what they say. So, I have a lot of respect for the preachers that I listen to, but what we're told to do is to compare what they say to, what is actually in the Word and keep it in context. So, yeah. Those teachers are awesome and they provoke thought, and a preacher is a teacher, right? They're a teacher. They're provoking thought. They're making scripture aware to us, but we are also told to study it ourselves. Yes, search it out. Search it out. There's a TV show on Sunday mornings called In Search of, and it's about, it's a congregation in Oklahoma, and they do a little Bible study there in the mornings. It's usually on some, you know, not so main network channel, and I think it was Phil, the guy's name is Phil now, who's doing it. Yeah, read the word. He wants us to know him through the word. So yeah, so I try to practice, you know, viewing the world through a biblical view, and you know, I get criticized for it, and that tells me I'm doing something right. I try to do it in a loving and encouraging manner. Sometimes it doesn't come across that way. My goal is to encourage, and maybe some people don't see it that way, and I'm sorry for that. It's always meant to encourage. Yeah, oh, let me tell ya, many of them don't. Yes. Many of them don't, and the ones that are most easily accessible, like say on TV or radio, wow, they're way off. Wow! But they need more viewers. They need more, let's just say they were YouTubers. They need more subscribers. Yeah, exactly. And like I was telling my friend Wanda yesterday, who is newly, she's kind of new to the word, and it's like, you know, I've been at this over 20 years, and I still struggle every day to, you know, be what God wants me to be the light. And I struggle every day to, you know, let's just say do the right thing, act like a Christian. That is what it's all about, is to keep trying, to keep, you know, keep running the race. Exactly, Denny, and that's what I think. I see a lot of these TV and radio preachers, and you know, they're tickling ears, and that concerns me. It really is out of concern that I warn people against those preachers. Don't just take their word for it. Don't go read their devotional book that they printed up and now are selling millions of copies of because they're so popular on TV. No, you have a book. You have a book. We all have a book. We all have free access to the word. All of us do. So, yeah, don't you? Is ruining your life in a good way or a bad way? I could take that two different ways. You know, he could be ruining our own self-will and kicking us back in line to God's will, or he could be, you know, confusing the issue and being, oh, in a good way. Good, okay, good. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Denny. I get it. I get that, yes. It's ruining how you plan things and your will and all of that, and how we sacrifice all of that for his will. Gotcha. Yeah. It's a sacrifice. It's our own sacrifice back. And it's free if we're willing to take it. It's not just granted whether we want it or not. It's free if we're willing to take it. And we're willing to follow through. Take it easy, girl. Going downhill. Start picking up speed. Getting crazy. Feel-good churches. Yeah, so we get a lot of that on TV and the radio. And all these, I think they call them charismatic churches. I'm not real sure what the definition of a charismatic church is. I just know there's a lot of, you know, like performances going on stage, and there's a lot of entertainment, and yeah, entertainment is the last thing we're taught to use to worship. So in the New Testament, so yeah, it's a transformation, and it's kind of an ongoing. I notice with me, it's an ongoing. It's a walk. It's a journey to continually try and strive to get it right. And I screw up every day. Yes, instead of Bible instruction, instead of learning His Word, learning who He is through His Word. That's right. That's how politically incorrect I am. You know, they're kind of like the propaganda machine of our media. Their job is to evoke emotions in us, and if they evoke, you know, emotions, that's a chemical response, and that gets us addicted. Just like watching the news, they evoke an emotional response in us, whether it's 100% accurate or not, and that gets us addicted to watching the news. So, and I believe that a lot of these, you know, mega churches do the same thing. They're evoking an emotional response through music and entertainment and volume, and that's all a form of evoking an addiction. Where truly, we're not called to go to church to, you know, to make ourselves feel good, to feel moved. We are called to worship Him in a way that is given as an example in the New Testament. We're not going there for us, we're going there for Him, which in turn is for us. You know, our reward is in heaven, not on earth. Hi, Cynthia. I love Cynthia. Oh, I love watching Cynthia's. Oh, we're back. Yeah, I was just saying, I don't believe that all that, you know, entertainment and, you know, emotion provoking, I do not believe that's the Holy Spirit. I believe that's emotion provoking. You know, what we get from Scripture. No, it's not, and I don't listen to a lot of it. I like to listen to Creed because I like to hear his struggle, because I relate to his struggle. So it's not really worship, right? But it's about his Christian struggle. Yes, the church is the people. Yes, the church is the body of Christ. It is the saved, the holy ones, the saints. It is all of those who are part of the body of Christ. That's what the church is. The saints, the holy ones, the people, the body. It is the body. That's what the church is. And that's how saints, the people, the holy ones, they are all explained in Scripture. A place is being prepared for us. Cynthia, oh, I love you. Yes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. You know who else has suffered a loss is Robin. mean, we all have suffered losses recently. Good morning. Yes, Cynthia. So we really got off on a religious tangent there, didn't we? That was fun. That was fun, actually. I enjoyed that. Yeah, the truth is in the Word. It's nowhere else. It is only in the Word. God, our Savior, and the Holy Spirit, those are in the, it is in the Word. We're not getting that from anywhere else. I know, what's wrong with that? I know, I'm pretty happy with it. We lost about 9 viewers there, but that's okay. You know, also, you know, Connie's live. I don't know if Robin's still live. There are other lives going on too, so I encourage you guys to check them out. Yes, Mackenzie. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes. That's right. That's right, Denny. But boy, did we clear them out. If you're not clearing people out, you're not doing something right. Yeah. I don't like being lied to. That's why I don't watch the news, and I don't let them evoke an emotional response to me that will, you know, whether it's negative or positive, that will cause me to want to watch more of the news. I believe there's a lot of preachers on TV and the radio who are doing that exact same thing, that tickle the ears, that make me feel good entertainment, that evokes emotional responses, and you know, makes us want to come back for more. But the problem is they're not teaching the truth. We're getting closer to Arizona, you guys. Getting closer. We're down there here in this beautiful valley with the river running through it. I love the Colorado River running through this valley. I mean, it's like an oasis in the desert. I always love, you know, driving through here. I think this is Needles, California, just before we cross into I love looking out over there, over the fields, the hay fields, and you know, all the agriculture down here along the river. Oh, hugs to Jonathan. I come from a family of Marines. Hugs to Jonathan. Boy, do I know that loss. Holy cow. Boy, do I know that loss. That unconditional kind of relationship that was so close. I will never get that back. And I will mourn and grieve for a long, long time. But Jack is helping me. Just having another being that I, you know, am responsible for and caring for has helped me work through a little bit of grief. I mean, it's still there, but I'm not sitting up on the edge of the bed, you know, sobbing every morning like I was for 2 months almost. One thing that has helped my mood, yes. Good morning. I was telling people that you were live, Robin, and to go, you know, to hop over there, you know, that there are other lives to check out. Yeah, still hurts. I know. Robin has suffered a loss. Cynthia has suffered a loss. We've all suffered that kind of very special loss recently, and yeah, it's that club that we don't want to belong to, but we do. We do. The only thing that got me through all of that, you know, as dark as my life went there for about a month or so, was knowing that no matter how bad I feel in the moment, God is going to pull me out the other side. I just have to go through it. I can't try to avoid it like, you know, some people will try to avoid it with drugs or alcohol or whatever, but okay. Have a great day. Allie, did you get your package? Because it looks like it was delivered yesterday. Did I miss that? You should have gotten your package yesterday. Oh, I think I missed her. But yeah, I think you should have got your package yesterday. What was that from? Paybox, or was that from Hobby? I think it was Paybox. Trying to remember. I've sent out so much, drop shipped so much lately. Oh, I'm dying to hear how she likes that yarn, because I love it. It's so like, it's like a cloud. It's so light. It's just wonderful. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, here we go. Gotta pay attention on these curves. There we go. Now I can get over. Hang on in the curves. 2 hands. Look at aim high in the road. Gotta aim high in the steering. Even in the curves. Uh-oh, looks like we got a fire over here. Whoopsie. Somebody caught something on fire. Hello. Yep. Got a little fire over there on the exit. But it's going the other way. Lake Havasu, is that how you say it? Havasu City in Arizona. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I know Leslie has corrected me in the past, but I have forgotten. I'm a Karen, simply soft kind of girl, any color. Gotcha! Duly noted there, Susan. I know, she's like, just saying. Havasu, thank you. Thank you, Robin. Havasu. She's like, just putting that out there. Hint, hint. Am I scaring you, baby? I'm sorry. So let's drop our little hints. Here, let's all drop our little hints. I'm kind of a 3-weight, maybe a cotton acrylic blend, something that has no halo, you know, for good stitch definition, good drape, and I sincerely love burgundy, you know, a dark burgundy, not a maroon is purpley, but a burgundy, a dark teal, and a cream color. And lots of yardage so I can make something big and fabulous. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Oh, Diana's a paint box gal. Let's all put our hints out there. I do like paint box. A custom color of acrylic from Melissa. Awesome. I'd like to hear about that. I have learned, okay, so in the beginning I thought Karen Simply Soft and Red Heart Soft and all those kinds of, you know, kind of yarns were great. And then the more I worked with them, I thought they were, you know what, that's really, those are awful. But, oh, anti-pilling yarn. Oh, I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. But the Karen Simply Soft type, isn't that great? Oh, I love that yarn from spring. Yeah, so I loved it, then I really poo-pooed it, and now I realize, depending on what hook I'm using, is how splitty it is for me. So, you know me, I love my Clover soft touch. I like it tapered like a boy hook. But the truth is, I've never tried a true inline like a Susan Bates, or those like, oh, is it the tulips that are also an inline? I have used the Furls hooks, and like the Alpha hook, I split every yarn, every single yarn I've ever tried with the Alpha hook. It may be my technique, I don't know, but I've decided, you know, if I'm going to use any more Furls, it's going to be the Odyssey, or, you know, back to the Streamlines. I do like the Streamlines. I think they're nice hooks, but, you know, again, I have to slow down and see, a lot of people like the Amours. I only use the Amours from like the K up, because the soft touches from the J down, I prefer those to the Amours. Premier Eversoft and Yarn Bee Soft Secret also. Yes, I love those too. Those are nice. Yeah, but like I said, I've learned that depending on the hook I use is whether or not I get, you know, splitting problems. Someone said in a video, this, you know, years ago, that the Susan Bates are good for beginners, and that's why people fall in love with the inlines. But then as you get more advanced, you use a tapered. I don't know how true that is, though. You know, that's a pretty blanket statement, and I see like Selena Vaca using an inline, right? She uses a lot. She uses inlines. She uses tapers, she uses furls and soft touches. I mean, she's got a collection of hooks, right? And she uses them. So, you know, I think it depends on the yarn and the project as to what kind of yarn. I just really, really love my soft touch. Yeah, you know what, I use mostly my Clover soft touches. I think it's part of being a Libra. I don't know how valid that is, but it might be this whole balance thing where, you know, I want every Clover soft touch size ever made, right? Which is crazy. I mean, that's absolutely nuts, right? There's no reason for that. So, but I do want a set of the steel hooks, because I do want to make, oh, I was going to show you guys. I should pull over somewhere and show you guys. Oh, I'll just make a video about it. A video about the kind of cafe curtain, you know, thread crochet pattern that I'm looking for. Really simple design, but I want the, on both the valance and the two panels that hang below. Oh, thank you, Angel. Well, let me take my vitamins. Oh, okay. So I want like so my walls are just like an ecru, kind of an off-white color in the motorhome. And what I want for the cafe curtains in the bus is I want a like creamy white, And then, but down at the bottom of the panels and the valance, I want like a good inch or so of burgundy. Then I want like a half an inch or so of like the same color as the walls, that just barely off-white, like a New Mexico white or an Arizona white. And then a, maybe 3/4 inch row of the dark teal, and the rest of it all a cream color, a little bit darker than the walls, or maybe even matching the walls. So I don't want those decorative edgings. I want a straight across border along the bottoms of the panels and the valance, straight across with the burgundy, the off-white, and the teal, and then the whole thing being like maybe that off-white color or a darker cream. We'll see what the thread, looks like. And I want this to be a thread steel hook crochet project. I've decided I don't even want, any kind of scallop on the edges. I want, straight across, maybe, like the fabric, the main fabric part of the panels being. I'm sure I could come up with this on my own. I just need, it's now the cafe curtains are added to my Scorched Earth list, which will be an ongoing list. But I have so much I want to get done immediately. But at the bottom of the list are things like the leaf of 1891. I want to use thread crochet or maybe 8/4 cotton to make a like just a bed cover for pretty, right? I like it for pretty. And maybe I'll auction that thing off. If I make one of those, I auction that off, because I do have a dog with claws, and it may not be practical for me to have a thread crochet bed cover made out of those leaf motifs, but I might auction that thing off. We'll see what happens. But that's at the bottom of the list, and so is my cafe curtains. Maybe I'll just do my foundation row in the burgundy color that I want, and just kind of eyeball it as to how wide I want it, and do the other panel the same the same width, and then do a few rows of the burgundy until I get about an inch and a half of the burgundy, and then switch colors and do the off-white color or cream color, and then switch colors and do this all like in a single crochet or a half double, and then just keep working up until I got the main body of the panel in the cream color, and sew it over at the top, and thread a rock through it, and there are my cafe curtains. I love thread crochet. I've only done things like bookmarks and little fillet stuff, but I've never done anything as practical as a set of cafe style curtains with the valance and the 2 panels. So it's a 3-piece project. There's the Colorado River, everybody. We're coming into Arizona. Welcome to Arizona, everybody. This guy is hitting his brakes. He's going really slow. He's taking the exit. Maybe he meant to take an exit. Maybe he's got to turn around. I don't know. Maybe he lost a tire. I don't know what's going on with you, dude. Maybe he's got to go potty. I don't know. Something. Okay, cup holder party, you guys. Cup holder, put it up to 70. Well, we're coming up on the port of entry. See, I love that. I love that. And the millimeter sizes are probably in between sizes from what we typically can buy, you know, what we have a choice of these days, right? Yeah. Oh, wow, we actually came back. I was getting ready to end it. Anyway, I want to get a couple sizes of those Clover soft touch steel hooks, and you know, once I decide what size crochet yarn or crochet thread to use, then I'll get a couple of sizes of the Clover steel hooks, you know, to go with it. I haven't decided what size. I think a smaller size, you know, to make it look like a really woven piece of fabric. Oh, this road. Oh no, I'm gonna do a rod. I think it would be easier just to, you know, fold over the top, don't you think? And sew the top into a pocket. Good morning, good morning. Okay, Cynthia, lovely to see you come in. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Oh, I got the bypass. Woohoo! Oh, it is like airplane turbulence. It's terrible. Look at the green light, you guys. Wow, that's awesome. No cup holder party today. Yeah, I'm gonna do the rod. Because I think it's easier than trying to do tabs, because then I can just do panels and whatever stitch I want, and just make at whatever length and height I want, and then just fold over. Hello, Kim. And then just fold over the top in an appropriate length, fold it over to make room for the rod. I think that would be wonderful. Yeah, that's what I want to do, and I'm thinking about just making it real easy on myself and just making up my own pattern. Just decide what size thread I want and get the corresponding hooks and go for it. I gotta quit talking about it though, because I do have a whole list of things to do before I get to that. That way I can get the space. I need the space on the yarn bus for any more yarn, right? I'm already overflowing and have no room for all of my projects. So, yeah. Ugh. Okay, hang on, Bubba. I know it's bumpy, isn't it? It's like, yes, it's very bumpy, Dana. The roads are terrible out here. Just terrible. Dark teal, and then the rest of it the off-white or cream. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. Almost thinking of going with the 8/4 cotton. I have no idea. I have no idea where oceanfront property is in Arizona, but I do love that song. I love all of his songs pretty much, for the most part. I shouldn't say all. I'd say most of them I do. I don't love all of them. He seems to be doing just fine. I think he's kind of got a kennel dog mentality. So it's like too many options are confusing to him. And what do you mean? That George Strait is married to a good woman? And yeah, if that's what you mean, yes, I agree. I agree. Married his high school sweetheart and he has stuck to her. And I absolutely respect that. Yes. I have the utmost respect for George Strait. I'm envious of the his team roping, because he runs, you know, the George Strait Invitational for like championship team roping event. He is a world-class team roper, you know, on top of being a world-famous country singer. All of that. He's also a team roper and a horseman. And he owns a blue heeler. So, gotta like a guy for that, right? Because blue heelers are awesome. Hashtag spotted dogs rule. Yeah, he's got a nice ranch. He's got some really, you know, nice, well-bred quarter horses. And he's a team roper. That's world right there, and so I you know, relate, I guess, and I believe in, you know, sticking, you know, with your spouse and not just calling it quits at the first sign of trouble. And he has not been, you know, the reports are, the rumors are that he has never, you know, kept company with groupies or anything like that. He didn't do the whole country music or rock star lifestyle kind of thing. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for that guy. You know, I appreciate that lifestyle. He's a Christian. Blue heelers. I got one in my truck right now. Yeah, so I really appreciate, you know, at least how it looks. Well, we're back. We did a little buffering, but we're back. Now, see if this guy follows protocol and lets me get back over. Or if he's going to hang me out to drive. Looks like he wants to hang me out to dry, but I put on my turn signal, making sure I can see both headlights. Point. And he let me come back over. Rest area in 12 miles. I don't know that we need that. I think we're doing pretty good. He hasn't come up and asked me for anything yet. I truly think this dog has spent a lot of time in his crate, or at least in a kennel situation, you know, kennels with runs, because he has kind of that kennel mentality, and I don't know how to explain it, but he didn't know how to take a piece of food from my hands. He's like, wow, that's a thing, you know, and it is a thing. I don't like begging. I don't mind polite asking, you know, polite. Right? Hypnotize her, and she's like, oh crap, I've got to give him something to eat. Oh, I better hurry, you know. He kind of had her wrapped around his little toe. He knew how to manipulate her really easily. It's 90 degrees here in the desert. I just crossed over from California into Arizona on Interstate 40. What's it like up there in the valley? Straighten up here. Straighten up here. Okay. yeah, so I think this dog has a real kennel mentality, to where, you know, it was all business and no play, and he gets, you know, really concerned if he's not pleasing me, super concerned, which is a nice thing, but, you know, I have to be more sensitive in my handling, than I was when I was at home. I was super stressed, and I really had some rough days. So tired of the rain. Oh, I know, my mom's out in Oregon City. She's like, oh, guess what? It's raining. And I'm like, huh, weird. And it's raining clear into June. So, you know, that actually worries me for the summer. I'm afraid we're going to have a big fire season because, you know, that's growing all that vegetation, and then it's going to dry out and have some big fires. At least that's how it can work. It doesn't always work that way, but I hate speaking in absolutes about a lot of things unless we're talking about scripture. Well, that's wonderful, Kim. Everybody's celebrating their anniversaries. My anniversary, wedding anniversary, was back in February. Ugh. It would have been 20 years. Would have been 20 years this year. Oh, that AC feels good. Ooh, hello. I didn't see you coming, dude. Did not. I mean, I was scanning. I did not see him coming. He must have come out from behind a bush. He must have been hidden back there and just popped out on the freeway. I know, I'm just running at 70, so I'm absolutely, oh, it's that car that just passed me. I'm getting over. Hello. No speeding. You know, it's really hard, you know, in this day and age to, you know, for me personally, I'm talking about myself, and I can only assume it's like this with other people. Totally an assumption. Way to go, Doris. Love it. But driving, working on a project, whatever I'm doing, reading a book, whatever it is, it's like I have to relearn how to be in the moment sometimes and learn how to just sit back and accept this moment rather than being in a hurry. And, you know, I used to do 85 miles an hour between Portland and the Dalles, and I'd get there so fast, and, you know, it wasn't worth it. You know, it wasn't worth it to get there 5 minutes before everybody behind me, you know, maybe 10. When I was driving that 1987 CRX SI, and it was blood red, and oh my goodness, that thing was fun to drive. But, you know, it's like I keep having to reteach myself how to be in the moment. Okay, Denny. And because not being in the moment, thinking, I mean, you know, but being in the moment is, it's like it's becoming a lost art. So, you know, when I see somebody speeding, I think back to when I was speeding, and, you know, the times that I have really been speeding, and how I wasn't settling back into the moment. You know, I'm doing 70. I think the speed limit here is 75. But 70 is the top of my governed speed, right? So, you know, I am trying to practice mindfulness. I keep having to draw myself back. Yeah, it's, you know, it's hard to live in the moment, and living in the moment doesn't mean, you know, scrolling your Facebook feed. And yeah, mindfulness, exactly. Just, you know, where am I? What am I doing? What is great about this moment? And how can I glorify God in this moment? I can appreciate the rawness and ruggedness and wildness of the area that I'm in right now, right? I can appreciate it. You know, there's a place for this. Yeah, it's the company. Well, actually, my company leases this truck from Penske. It's a Penske lease, and Penske governs their trucks at 70 miles an hour. My company governs the trucks that they own. I think it's 72. So, you know, I'm not really into these brand new Corvettes, but look at the color of that thing. That is that burgundy, that is just such a beautiful color. And look at him, he's probably doing, so the speed limit's 75. I appreciate this guy. You know, not my kind of car, but I appreciate this guy because he's doing 75, between 75 and 80 miles an hour. Okay, the speed limit is 75. Yes, per their companies, exactly. If they're governed at all. So that guy, I mean, he's kind of hanging out in the left lane, but you know, it's a wide open freeway. This is wide open country, so who cares? Stay in the left lane. But he's doing between 75 and 80, which to me is perfectly respectable. I have seen in the mountains of Northern California, where they're up and down and round and round, I have seen those brand new Corvettes pass me at 120 miles an hour plus. Oh, yeah, well, that's too bad for him because I feel like he misses a lot. You know, my first, where my mind goes when I see that is, that guy is missing a lot in his life. And that's too bad. Yes, I think it's important to make a plan, kind of plan ahead, do the best you can. But we also have to remember that one of my favorite song lyrics is, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. And I try to be more flexible. I try to be okay with the fact that things change. Yeah, you only live once, but you know, this life is all about preparing ourselves for the goal. Preparing ourselves for eternity. And I believe in being mindful and being in the moment and not, you know, rushing past the right now. Good morning. Is this Dolly? Good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Yes. Are you joining in on the ferries this year? I just want to get with everybody. Oh, it's by Van Zandt and it's very good. It's called Get Right with the Man. Is that Dolly? So I just want to, you know, keep throwing it out there that anybody who wants to be a fairy this year has to watch the video that's linked in the description box under this live. Because we're going to stick to those requirements pretty strictly. We're not making, you know, our viewers do anything. Oh, bounce, bounce, bounce. You're getting closer to your, yeah, that's for sure, yeah. And that was in a truck that would tell me how fast the vehicle in front of me was going. This one just tells me how many feet ahead of me they are. But that last truck, yeah, that guy passed me in his Corvette, and it was 120, and he was gaining speed. And I'm like, wow. And I've done 120 in that Honda CRX, the SI, 12 valves. Woohoo! I did 120 going across Wyoming one day. So I was young and stupid. Totally stupid. Beef jerky, vintage soda pops, hundreds of flavors. Do you love the rules of the fairies this year? I do too. I do too. We have got to keep it simple, right? It's got to be kept simple. And I've decided, the way I've been kind of poo-pooed in some of the other collaboration giveaways, the fairy style giveaways, I'm like, fine, I can do mine my way then. If you guys don't like it, there are plenty of other collaborations to get involved with. But I want this to be simple. Simple for fairies, simple for the participants. And it's either one or the other, not both. Video ready to go up midnight on the 15th. In fact, I might do that later today. I don't know. I always have so many plans before noon, and then afternoon it's just like, oh, I just can't wait to get parked and crawling in the bunk. Hello, Marion. Good morning. It's probably afternoon where you're at. 12:30 to 12:30, 1:30. Yeah, it's afternoon where you're at. How are you doing? Oh. Oh, we are 25 miles from Kingman, 172 to Flagstaff. I should figure out where my next, I think I can make it all the way to Jamestown for fuel. In fact, we're going to try it. We're just going to keep the hammer down. Keep on trucking. Yes, simple, simple. Me and Jack are doing pretty good. Let me tap this button real quick. There he is. He's like, Dana, this road is so bumpy. Bumpy, bumpy. It is. It's pretty bad out here on Interstate 40. I'm headed for New Mexico where all those fires are. But, the last couple of times I've been through there, yeah, there have been fires and there have been some evacuations, but it really wasn't affecting Interstate 25, at least the times that I've gone through. So, we'll see how it goes. Flagstaff, I think there was a fire south of Flagstaff. It did not affect Interstate 40. But we'll see. Maybe things have changed. Old Trails Road. I'm going to be going by that area where that red healer female was, and yes, we're being safe. Absolutely. We take a look ahead, especially when we're coming into these fire areas. I take a look before I take off and see if it's affecting the freeway. If it's not affecting the freeway, I'm not going to like raise the alarm, publicly say, oh, I'm going through this area and there's all these fires around. No, I'm not going to raise the alarm. Emotions are already high with the people who actually have to deal with it. I'm not affected, so I appreciate, I can appreciate what they're going through. Been there, done that. And, I did some, animal evacuations in Colorado during some of the bigger fires there. Black Forest Fire, the Waldo Canyon. He's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. He doesn't seem to need a break. I don't need a break yet, but we'll see. Oh, we're blurry. We're all blurry. I wonder why that is. Is that blurry to you guys? That's weird. It's not, wow. Oh, there we go. It cleared up. Yeah. Big fires, And, before I started driving truck, I always put the word out there before and during fire season there in Idaho that, hey, I have experience with evacuating, livestock during these wildfires. First of all, be ready at the first stage, at the first readiness stage. It's usually like a 3-stage of readiness: ready, set, and go. If you have livestock, you should be packed up at the ready stage, and then at the set stage should actually be your go stage. Have that plan in place at the ready stage, at the stage 1, because sometimes you're going to need help. You're going to need people ready and lined up to come and load up your livestock and have a place set up to take them to during the evacuation. Now, you may never get to the 3rd stage. Well, and so here's something, Dolly, that, something that kind of a little epiphany came to mind. Like Reggie was saying, here is what I'm giving away in this giveaway when you do that first 3-minute video. And you know what? That will narrow down who enters your giveaway, right? While I will still send that to anybody who enters and their name gets drawn, if I said, I'm going to give you this crochet hook as a winner, that's going to narrow down who is actually going to be interested in entering your giveaway, right? Say, this is what I'm giving away, so this is what my semifinalist is going to get if you give your semifinalist anything. Yes, the earlier the better. And it's better to overreact than to underreact when it comes to, getting your livestock out. Because if you wait till the last minute, it's too late. It is too late. And you have to cut fences, open gates, and run them out of there before you hit the gas in your own car. Run out of there yourself with nothing packed up. Be ready at the, ready, have your plan in place, have trailers lined up, have it all set at the first stage of your readiness. And then at stage 2, move them. Just do it. Just do it. I don't care how many times in the season you got to do it, just do it. Because the one time you don't is going to be the time that you're sorry. Because at the go stage, at the stage 3 of the evacuation, you could have a traffic jam. You could have no way out of there with all that livestock. And, people will be jumping and running from their vehicles because they can't move through traffic. We always just had a plan in our whole kind of, neighborhood out there in the Dijou Basin. Yeah, you got to keep it ready. And my personal advice is move the animals at stage 2, at the 2nd level. And I think if you're in a fire-prone area, even though you've never been hit ever before in your life, to have a plan at the beginning of fire season to where people are ready even before a fire starts. If I lived anywhere out in that area of New Mexico, that wind could shift at any time. And if I'm not in the evacuation zones or, in the path of the fire, if I'm 20, 30 miles away from wherever that fire is, I'm going to start having a plan right then and there because the wind can shift. What happened in the Waldo Canyon fire was it was burning, it was burning, it was burning. And then one afternoon, I was listening to the scanner when this happened. That fire crowned and ran downhill towards Colorado Springs. And whole housing developments had to evacuate in a split second. those firefighters had to jump and run for their lives. And that changed within a 5-minute window. Things went from normal, okay, we're going to start, maybe moving these people out in the next day or, the next 12 hours, that kind of plan. But all of a sudden, that wind came up, the fire crowned, and it ran. It literally ran like water down that hill and into those housing. We lost whole housing developments within a matter of 6 hours, where people were just casually thinking about moving 5 minutes before that. 5 minutes later, people were running for their lives. Firefighters were running for their lives. So anything can change within, just a few minutes. I would have been out of there the day before. There's absolutely no reason to get yourself stuck on a cul-de-sac, that has one way in and one way out in traffic when a fire is coming towards you. Fire's too unpredictable to, wait till the last minute. I got told that I was an alarmist because this Banks area of Idaho was, in the wildfire path, and they were at level 2. And I said, look, you're in level 2, and my experience with the Waldo Canyon and the Black Forest fire is you don't wait till level 3. If you have livestock and you need help getting them out now, I will be there. Just tell me when and where, and I will be there. And you never know with the wind. And one guy's like, you are an alarmist. You're just, and I'm like, no, I'm not an alarmist. You're not aware of the danger. I mean, the danger's only 10 miles away from your place, dude. Yeah, all of that stuff needs to be done. Just be ready, and that way when it's time to move, you have a plan and you're not panicking. Your animals are taken care of. I don't care if you've got 2 cats. You should get those cats, contained in a crate. If you're looking at a stage 2, you need to be getting them out of, just take them somewhere else. You go get a hotel room, take your motorhome, whatever, and go park at the Walmart. Get out of there and just wait it out. And pretty soon, those levels are going to be lifted and you can go back. And everybody is safe. You have, you are not in panic mode. This looks like, what is he carrying? Like a water tank? I don't know what that is. But I'm slowly catching up to him. Looks like a hot shot though. I'm not sure. What are we doing here? Interesting load. I was thinking about doing a video on that, just saying, hey, if you have any animals in your life or a lot of things you want moved out, in an evacuation situation, here's my advice. Don't wait till the level 3, the go stage. Go at the second level. Be ready at the first level or before. Because you're going to hit a traffic jam at the go level and you're going to be panicking, especially if you've got animals and kids to round up. Yeah, you get in the way of the firefighters too. That's another really good point. Yeah. Well, and there's a problem too. A lot of fires were set a couple years ago on the same day, all up and down I-5 in 3 different states. Those fires were set at exactly the same time in the mornings. Yeah, so you've got hurricane preps. Yes, might as well just, have a plan, of where you're going to go. And I would not wait for the go evacuation. So here's the problem, like a couple years ago when all those fires were set at the exact same time on the exact same morning, a couple years ago, it was all a political thing, that caused, existing fires to come together and make them, blow up and my mom had to evacuate. There were people going into those areas, and they were trying to loot these houses. Well, my mother, the telecommunications engineer, isn't going to stand for that crap. She went home. Now the horses were out of there. She had the horses and the animals, they were out. But she went back and defended her property and watched the fire line, watched exactly where the fire line was, made sure she had a plan of escape, because that's complicated. She wasn't about to let those idiots come in and loot her place. And she was, I'll tell you, she's armed. Idiot. She's armed, I'll tell you what. You may think, oh, she's a telecommunications engineer. She's a 73-year-old woman. Good luck with that. She's also a 1D barrel racer. Very competitive. So, don't be messing with her. She will defend herself if it comes to it. She's not going to let any looters get onto her place. Because they'd loot, and then how do you know they're not going to set your house on fire as they leave? Because for all we know, it's the same people who set the fires. All up and down I-5 in 3 different states. That is a weird load. That's exactly right. Don't underestimate her. She's a Christian. She's not one of those America beer gut hanging out, Trump 2020 kind of rednecks. She is a conservative, but she's not like those guys that make the rest of us look stupid. She's a conservative Republican, telecommunications engineer, and a high-level, highly competitive barrel racer. I don't know what that means. Doomsdayers. Oh, what was that hashtag that Darla just put up? I can't read it. I can't read Darla's hashtag because I'm driving. Now that's more of a, because million milers get to choose the color of their brand new truck with night transportation. Oh, I don't have my headlights on. Turn on your headlights, Dana. There you go. I'll be passing him in a minute.